Hey guys, welcome back. This is part two of the insights that I gained through my recent trip to California and the 14 readings that I did within the 8 days that I was there. And this particular topic has to do with so much of the time as a medium, I run into people that have such a strong feeling of guilt or regret or the would have, could have, should have's of their role or the situation in regards to the way that their loved one passed and what they did and did not do or what they could have done and did. It's just this whole thing, and it really feels so much of the time that it can't be remedied because their loved one has now passed, and so they're not able to soothe over those regrets and that guilt. And a lot of times that's why people do come to mediums, because they do want to know that their mother does not hold animosity or is angry that they weren't there, at the time of their passing. And if you've ever experienced this and you're still feeling really strong guilt or regret, one thing that the relatives wanted to really make sure that my clients knew, and again, this is a topic that came up multiple times during these 14 readings, is that it's so important for us to think of and remember the bigger picture of everything. So much of what we live is predetermined, something that we have made agreements with these people that we come into these lifetimes with. And something as important as our physical transition from physical to non-physical is not just happenstance, and it's not just coincidental or blasé. It very much is discussed, and so are the details. And so much of the time we're so focused on our world and the sort of our small viewpoint of things, we forget that there's such a bigger picture involved. So many times when my clients are holding on to this guilt, let's say I couldn't make it before she died, I didn't pick up the phone, when she called, and then she passed away, and I've always had so much guilt in regards to that. These types of scenarios. There's always a bigger picture and a reasoning behind why these things play out the way that they do. So a lot of times you have to remember that transitioning from physical to non-physical is something that's very personal and oftentimes private, and something that a lot of the times our relatives want to experience alone. They don't like the feeling of passing away and everyone crowding around them and being, sobbing and having this very strong, understandably, but very strong, heavy energy, right? They want to pass away and be with themselves in their own thoughts and without any other energy that could potentially penetrate the way that they want to transition. So just keep this in mind, that when these things happen, they happen for a very strong reason, and it's often in a beneficial way to the person that has passed. So it's not about our feelings, it's about the way that they wanted this particular life event to happen. So if you're feeling any of these strong emotions, remember that your loved ones in spirit do not hold on to negative emotion about resentment or anger, and everything played out in exactly the way it was supposed to. So I hope that eases some of your feelings if any of you out there have dealt with this. It really all was predetermined, and it all was in the most beneficial way of your loved one who passed. Even if it's hard to see, but if you look at it objectively and you really look at the big picture, a lot of times you'll be able to find those little tiny things that you can say, oh, I could understand. Yeah, my mom was somebody that was very private, and I could very much understand how she would want to pass away alone or without putting this on other people or having people having this heavy energy as she transitions. So I hope that helps you guys. And that was a very big topic in my readings in the last couple weeks. So thanks again for tuning into part 2, and I hope you tune in for part 3.